So this model right here is a simple way to understand how habits work. It got very popular by Charles Duhigg in his book, The Power of Habit. Let's see what each part of the model means and how the habit loops keep you stuck in self-sabotage, lack of discipline, or emotional blocks that keep you from becoming your best, most successful self. So first, you have the cue or a trigger. This is what starts the habit. It's usually something that tells your brain to go into automatic mode. It can be anything like a time of day, a feeling like stress or boredom, a place, something you see or hear, or it could also be a person. For example, you feel stressed after a long day. That's the cue. Then second, you have the routine or behavior. This is the actual habit or action you do. It can be good or bad. For example, when you feel stressed, you grab a bag of chips, you eat it on the couch. That's the routine. The next, you have the reward. This is what your brain gets from doing the habit. It's the reason why the habit keeps happening. It could be that you feel relaxed, or maybe just a quick distraction. For example, you had a long, stressful day at work. You got home, you got a bag of chips, you eat it on the couch, and after you eat it, you feel calm, relaxed, and comforted. That's the reward. And just like that, you have the loop: cue, routine, reward. And because your brain likes the reward, it keeps repeating the loop, sometimes even without you realizing it. So here's the good news. You can break this loop. But how do you do that? Well, it starts with awareness. You don't need to fight yourself. You just need to understand yourself. You'll notice that if you can identify the cue and the reward, you can change the routine. Simple, but not always easy. Now, let's take this a little deeper, especially if you've been feeling stuck, like no matter how hard you try, something keeps pulling you back. Because what I realized is that a lot of us think we have money problems, or we think we need more qualifications, more motivation, more discipline. But really, you don't have a money problem. You don't have a credential problem. And no, you don't even have a motivation problem. You've got a habit loop problem. You are stuck in a loop that don't match who you want to be. Let me show you how this model might be playing in your life right now. First, you have the cue. That's the trigger. In real life, that might look like you scrolling on your phone, you see someone else succeed on social media, or you feel anxious about money or your future, or maybe you have a big dream, but you have no idea where to start. That's the cue, the trigger. These triggers stir up emotions like pressure, fear, comparison, overwhelm. So now what happens next is that the emotion kicks in. Your body becomes tense, your mind starts racing. And instead of facing the root cause of the problem or your goals, your brain looks for the quickest way out. So you scroll on your phone for hours. You start cleaning random things. You suddenly feel tired or start doubting yourself. You see what just happened? Your routine became delay, distraction, doubt, disconnection. But here's the twist. Even though at this stage of the loop, it might look like self-sabotage, and honestly, I think it is, your brain thinks it helps you. Why? Well, it's because by avoiding the hard thing, the real problem, you felt safe for a moment. Let's say you had to start working on creating your business plan, or you had to update your resume. Well, by avoiding it, you avoided failure, you avoided the fear of being seen, you got a little dopamine from the scroll, the snack, and the nap. So your brain says, good job, we stayed safe, even though deep down, you know you didn't move forward. Then what happens next is very interesting. Your brain saves that pattern for next time. Like it takes a screenshot of the habit loop so that you don't have to work as hard next time, even if it costs you your progress. So what's the real reward here? I hope you can see that. It's short-term comfort, long-term regret. Because you didn't show up, you didn't create, you didn't take the step, and deep down, you know it. So what do we do? Well, like I said, the key to breaking the habit loop and creating lasting change is awareness and intentionality. So you'll need to identify what's triggering the habit. You see, cues can be very sneaky. Sometimes you don't even realize that a feeling or a situation is triggering you to act a certain way. So you need to get real with yourself and pay attention to what starts the loop. Is it stress? Is it failure? Is it comparison? A specific time of day, or maybe it's an external situation like seeing someone else's success on social media. A good thing to do would be journaling. Like when you feel like doing that same old thing again and again, like scrolling, snacking, or putting stuff off, grab a notebook and write it down. What happened before that? How were you feeling? What did you see or hear? If you do this a few times, you might start to notice a pattern. You'll be like, oh, every time I feel overwhelmed, I grab a snack. Or whenever I see someone else doing better than me, I shout down. So journaling will help you see what's really going on so you can change the routine, this part right here. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. All right. So how do we wire the routine? You see, your brain is conditioned to follow routine because it gives you a reward, even if it's temporary comfort or distraction. So in order to change a routine, you need a substitute. Remember, you don't have to force yourself to be perfect and eliminate all distractions at once. You just need to find a few behavior that will get you the same reward, but in a healthier way. For example, let's say the cue is feeling anxious about money, and your usual routine is scrolling on social media or eating junk food. Maybe you can try replacing that with a more productive action like setting up a financial plan or listening to inspiring podcasts. Or if the cue is feeling stressed, instead of diving into a bag of chips, try going for a walk, doing a quick workout. You'll still get that relief, but it's healthier and more aligned with your long-term goals. And because the reward is what reinforces the behavior or the routine, if you want to break the loop, you need to understand the underlying emotional or psychological need that the routine is fulfilling. For example, maybe your habit of scrolling for hours on social media gives you a sense of escape, but also leaves you feeling guilty or unproductive in the long run. So start by identifying a better, healthier reward for yourself. This might look like you want to feel proud of yourself after setting a clear goal for the day. You love getting a sense of accomplishment after completing a small task, or you enjoy feeling relaxed and in control after practicing mindfulness. These rewards won't come as quickly as the bad ones, like the dopamine hit you got from scrolling on your phone for hours, but the difference is that they'll create longer, lasting satisfaction and build a stronger connection to your new routine. I know all of this sounds really good, but very often when we try to change habits, we run into a problem, emotional blocks like doubt, fear, guilt, or deep-seated limiting belief that we are not capable of making lasting change. You'll notice that fear of failure starts to creep in, and you might want to give up and go back to your comfort zone and repeat the old bad routine. When that happens, because it will happen, don't panic. Just acknowledge them. Don't push them away or try to ignore them. Understand that they are part of the process. So don't beat yourself up over your past habits. Be kind to yourself and understand that change takes time. Have a curious mindset, okay? Know that failure is just feedback, and remind yourself that you can create new habits. It's just about rewiring your brain and practicing new routine until they become automatic as well. So just to recap, how do we break this loop? Well, first, identify the cue or the trigger. Then interrupt the routine with a healthier, more productive action. And next, rewire your focus on long-term satisfaction, not instant gratification. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Habits take time to form, so it won't happen overnight. But if you stay committed and focused, the new habit loop will eventually become just as automatic as the old one. So as you can see, breaking the habit loop isn't just changing what you do. It's more about changing how you think. Shifting your mindset from fear and avoidance to confidence and action is what will truly change the game. So go ahead and start with one small habit loop today. You've got this. Thank you so much for watching this video today. My name is Darlene. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe for more content like this one. Until next time, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.